So I just left jiu-jitsu practice and I got my butt kicked. I mean, I got busted nose, busted lip. I don't know if you guys can see it on the video. But during the practice, it was so hard. I did not want to keep going. I sat out during some of the matches because I was just too tired to go on. But now, in retrospect, looking back, I feel so good. Going through the difficult times, I can feel myself getting better and moving forward. And I relate that to following God, and I place my hope in that the hard things that we go through as Christians, as people who sacrifice things in our lives to follow God. Maybe we choose a different job than the one that pays more money because that's where God was leading us. Maybe we spend a little more time with someone who we'd rather not spend time with just for the investment of investing in them rather than our own pleasures. Maybe we give away money to help a church get a building, and invest in the city that we're trying to save and impact, and that means we can't go out. During the time, in those moments, it can be really hard, and some people don't just sacrifice a meal or $10 or $20 here and there. They're putting their families on the line, they're putting stress, and you know what? It's hard. The disciples didn't have an easy life. Paul was killed ultimately, but beaten and flogged. But during that whole time, he had joy. And I think that as Christians, we need to oftentimes reposition ourselves and rebalance ourselves to look at ourselves in the hard moments and embrace them and say, this is good for me. This is where God is going to teach me something and bring me forward. This is where I'm going to get better. And it sucks now, but at the end there's a reward. And I hope that proves to be true for jiu-jitsu, and I believe that proves to be true for our Christian walk. And I want to encourage you guys, if you're down and you're out, in Isaiah it says, when God's telling Isaiah to call out the false prophets who are calling on false gods, he says, if those gods are real, then tell them to tell you what happened in the past, but not only what happened, why it happened. Everything we go through, whether it's we were raped, we were sexually abused, we were beaten, we were overlooked, we were treated badly, we were slandered, everything that we go through, whether we like it or not, comes ultimately from the hand of God. He allows those things to touch us for our own good, for our benefit. And in Hebrews it talks about how God punishes or disciplines those that he loves. And I can't help but look at my own life and realize that sometimes when I feel the most down, the most downtrodden, the most worn out, where I want to give up, the most hurt, if I can just rebalance, take a deep breath, and put my eyes up, focus on God, focus on Jesus, and look at where he's brought me so far, I find the strength to keep moving forward. So I hope you guys find that strength too. If you're in a tough place right now, I hope this video speaks to your heart. And you know that we serve a God who never fails, who the whole world, just at his name, bows down, who spoke into existence all that we see, the complexity. He didn't just make it out of something. He made it out of nothing. The intricacies of DNA and things we're still trying to understand years and years after, we've had the scientific method and all of our research and testing. The things we still don't understand. God just spoke a word and that all came into being. We serve an ultimate God. There's no one like him. There's no one who has his wisdom or his love. And in that, even when the hurricanes and the storms of life come, when we look up to that God, we find our peace.